Hi, welcome everyone to Coleman Report Live. Today, September 13th, 2021 edition. Welcome back. Chris Hearn is our guest panelist, I guess co-panelist today because Bob is on the road. He's traveling. Chris, welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here. Ton of information going on. Yeah, I had a good week in Dallas with Lance, and Mid-America went off pretty well. So I was happy to be there. I'm glad Jennifer invited me, and I think you're going to be down in Flagel soon, right? I think that's
next week. I'm speaking on a couple panels, and it's local for us in Orlando, so we'll have a couple people there too.
Great. Right off the bat, Chris, we talked a little bit on Friday about the legislative reconciliation. Give us a quick update on that, and what SBA lenders need to know about what's in that package.
Well, I think we talked about this a little bit on Friday, but basically it appears that there's a chance, it's certainly not a certainty yet, but there's a chance that as part of the reconciliation bill, we will get an extension of the SBA loan program enhancements that we're currently having right now, with basically the fee waivers and the increased guarantee on 7As. So, and that would be through all of next fiscal year. Now, I don't know that it's going to get done prior to the end of this month. Probably won't even get done until mid-October, but it's very possible. I still think it's probably less than a 50% chance, but it's decent that this may actually happen. And it's something I don't think most of us thought was possible, but with the Delta variant lingering and with it continuing to cause issues with shutdowns and things being canceled, I think it's a possibility that this could occur. So if you can influence your particular congressman or woman and your two senators, encourage them to support this, that'll possibly help make it happen.
Absolutely. So contact the small business committees on the House and the Senate side, and we'll keep on tracking that, and hopefully that we do get some of those, because those fee waivers and I mean the record growth was I think in part because of all those favorable terms. So
well, that and just SBA getting a much bigger platform than they've probably ever had. Well, certainly never had. So yeah.
Give us just before we get to the polls, 7A is still going for the next couple of weeks. 504 is exhausted, but just give us an update on that as well.
Well, yeah, I think 7A, I think we have an outside shot of it getting to September 30th without running out of money, so that's a positive. 504, regular 504 already has, obviously, but the expanded version for the refinances still has plenty of money left. So, yeah, I think we're in a good spot as an industry at the moment, and with a little bit of luck, maybe like I said, maybe we'll continue some of these enhancements into next year.
Wonderful. I was in the audience for Michelle Torres. She is out of the district, the Dallas district office, and she gave a wonderful presentation on processing and origination. And there was a big push into 7A lending from a lot of new players. So a lot of people had to hire to I know you personally had to up your staff quite a bit. But we wanted to ask this question: what compensation level do you need to document your hours for preparing a 7A package? So if you did hire that out, we wanted to know. So looks like they got most of it right. Chris, I've reported 2,500.
Yeah, 2,500 is correct. Yeah, if it's beyond that, you have to document the hours, and it's obviously this actually goes back to, some of you will recall, prior to the pandemic, there was supposed to be a change in the SBA 7A packaging fees. It was sort of a tiered structure, and we had to itemize exactly how much time was spent on these and exactly what the hours were, what you were doing. And then, of course, that all got tabled. It was supposed to take an effect. I think it was either April 1st or May 1st of 2020, and obviously that got backburned. We're still backburning at the moment, but this is probably going to go up in the future at some point.
Okay, that's good to know. Again, for newbies that are coming into the 7A world, can you use standardized language for credit elsewhere for all of your SBA loans? I think. I think this is one of the Bob Coleman trick questions. But how'd they do? 74% say no, 24% say yes.
The 74% are correct.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put some effort into changing. You can't just cut and paste every single credit presentation the same. So you gotta actually sort of customize it each one in order to not run afoul of SBA's rules and regs should they ever audit you on these, particularly on the 7A side.
And the last one is about women-owned businesses. Are they at more risk during this pandemic? We have been reporting a lot of data about women-owned businesses and minority-owned businesses, and we wanted to ask this question just to see. Yeah, so 43% say yes, and that is the correct answer. They are more heavily impacted by the pandemic over versus male-owned businesses. However, they are, being extremely, creative and problem-solving during these tough times. So I am glad that we are acknowledging that, and that the agency and the administration are working hard to get that better. So let's go into what else they are doing. The administrator today sent us some eligibility requirements for EIDL, some big changes. Biggest one, I think, is that the cap is going to go from 500 to 2 million. And the repayment of 2 years, that's a big one. Prepay of commercial debt and the payments on federal business debt is also a big one. Chris, what do you think about these enhancements that the administrator gave us this morning?
Well, I mean, I think it's good. We were expecting this for a good week or two. I don't know what kind of impact it's going to have at this point, just because there's been millions of small businesses that have applied for EIDL and have had sort of a frustrating experience. EIDL has bounced around in terms of how much money you could get from the program. So I have a feeling there's some people that are still a little frustrated from that. But obviously, this is an attempt by the agency to help larger small businesses and to help more of them. And I hope they have the funds to do it. And I hope it's valuable for some of these folks if they can stick with it and apply and try to make this happen. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think some of these funds were probably more needed, a year ago or even 6 or 9 months ago. But we'll see what the uptake is on this. I don't know, Joseph.
Yeah, just some quick basic questions. If they have a PPP loan, can they do this first off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and then where are you sending your borrowers if they come to you and say, for this great EIDL thing, where do I go? What do I do?
We send them to the SBA website, so SBA.gov. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Great, and we're going to be following this. I think Delaney is on. I don't know if we have a total dollar amount left. I know it's quite a bit. So we'll clarify that final number. I know there's a big chunk of funds left available for that. But fascinating. I mean, the agency is really in tune with this. They want to make it right, and these enhancements, I think, are a big deal. So 1502 reporting, just this is from Chris Dalton. Some lenders may not see the submitted 1502 payments. Have you heard about issues with the gateway, or is it a technical nightmare? You're dealing with this every day, Chris. What are you seeing with this?
Yeah, it's been a little bumpy. The transition
okay.
to the new fiscal transfer agent. As of this morning, I think we still hadn't officially confirmed that a recent upload was being recognized. So there's some issues. SBA has been letting lenders know that it's taking a little bit of time, and just to stick with it and don't freak out. So I just think it's the change over from Coleman to Guidehouse has just been not quite as smooth as everybody would have hoped, but it'll get better, I'm sure.
Yeah, I spoke with the reps at Philadelphia and America East, and they were also down in Dallas, and I imagine they're probably going to be in Flagel.
Yeah.
they're working hard. They hired a lot of the same Coleman people out of New York, and they kept it up in New York.
Yep.
So hopefully we don't have to report on this too much longer, but I imagine they're working to get those solved.
Yeah, you made me think. We've got a few guarantee sales that are held up as well, and I'm sure we're not the only ones.
Right.
But again, it's somewhat to be expected. The first month of changing everything over from Coulson to Cat House. So we'll see. We'll see how I'm sure it's going to get better from here.
Delaney, this is going out soon. Main Street Monday. 90% of small business owners support more emergency funding. Chris, that's a big number and a big headline.
Yes.
I don't know if Delaney, if you're out there, but the headline reads itself. I mean, there's a huge, I think there's a lot of uncertainty with the Delta variant. A lot of travel is being canceled. I was on a flight from, home from Dallas, and it was completely empty going into LAX. So, and that's I haven't seen that before, since over 20 years of travel. So,
it's interesting on this. I mean, my wife actually had a doctor's appointment this morning and came back and told me that she actually asked her doctor. Now he's just a general practitioner, but we've gone in for many years, and she said, we're thinking about taking a trip, and I'm a little nervous about this, but my husband's okay with it. And he said, well, what's the problem? She said, well, I just don't want to go on an airplane, in an airport and an airplane. And he said, those are two of the safest places you could be.
right.
Like, what do you mean? She said, he's like, well, everybody at an airport has to wear a mask. There's no exceptions. So, or you could be at other events or venues where some people may not have masks on. So he said, I think an airport is very safe. They clean it constantly. Airplanes, the same thing. They're filtering the air. They're cleaning, fogging everything. He said, I don't think I'd worry too much about either of those pieces. It just depends on where you're flying to. So, but I just thought that was kind of an interesting perspective on, what we're dealing with right now with the Delta variant.
We, on Friday, I think it was the first time we said PPP 3.0. I don't think it's going to be another round of PPP. I think the fourth, it would be technically the fourth round.
That's right.
What would this look like if there was more support from Washington? If you could speculate.
Well, I mean, I suspect it would be much like the third round, where you'd have to demonstrate a need, whether it's revenue reduction or something else. I suspect that would be one of the gating mechanisms for this, if you're eligible. So I don't know if 20% reduction is the right number. It may go up, may go down. Who knows? But I think you're going to see something if it happens. And there's a big if. I think it would be very similar to what happened with the second draw loans. But
okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, interesting article, and thank you, Delaney. That's again, this is going out pretty soon, so you guys can read that. Chris, you're going to be back tomorrow, I hope.
I hope so too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you, and we're going to be talking more about processing and all sorts of stuff that I found out in Mid-America. So Lance is going to be doing a webinar on 31 days past due on Wednesday, also preparing the 10 tab and next week, and underwriting during these COVID times. So, and that's in 2 weeks. Chris, thank you very much. We'll be in touch tomorrow, and thank you for joining Coleman Report Live, and we'll see everyone back tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody.